All right, we are 2-0 in our last couple of board member tier package bets on BrockPage.com. And if you want to access today's board member tier package bet, the link for that play is in the description section below. We're also 6-3 in our last 9 extra daily bets on that very same website. And if you want to access today's extra daily bet, it's only going to cost you just $2.99. We currently have over 835 members who are signed up and active on that website right now. And if you want to know what the difference is between what I do here on YouTube and what I do on my website, I'll explain a little bit more about it at the end of the video. But with that, guys, let's go ahead and dive into our part 1 video here today for Major League Baseball. We're going to start with the Red Sox taking on the Tigers. 1:10 Eastern first pitch on Tuesday, April 12, 2022. Now Boston is minus $1.25 with the total at 9. Rich Hill for Boston, Tyler Alexander for Detroit. Now Tyler's got a career .413 ERA and a 1.30 WHIP. Meanwhile, this Tiger pitching staff, they're allowing 5 runs a game on average this season. Now offensively, Detroit's also in the bottom 10 in scoring on average per contest, and they're averaging double-digit strikeouts a game at the plate. They're taking on a Boston team who actually strikes out nearly 11 batters a game themselves. So maybe look for a strikeout prop bet here. And they've also got Rich Hill on the bump here today, who's had one heck of a career. Now, aside from having an ERA of just .386 last season, Hill's actually got himself a career .380 ERA. And he's been pitching in the majors since 2005. Now, offensively, Rafael Devers, he's batting .313 with a couple of doubles, couple of RBI. Meanwhile, Alex Verdugo's gone 5 for 14 with a couple of walks and 3 RBI himself. Now, total-wise, 3 out of Boston's last 4 fell under the posted number. Meanwhile, for Detroit on the other side, only one of their games this season got over the total of 9 runs themselves. I'm going to go ahead and lean toward Boston minus $1.25 and the under 9 runs. Next matchup, it is going to be Guardians versus the Reds, 4:10 p.m. East. Both teams are minus $1.10, totals 8 runs. Shane Bieber for Cleveland, Tyler Mahle for Cincinnati. And even though Mahle had a solid opening day start, the Reds have lost 2 out of their last 3. And they allowed 12 total runs during that span. Meanwhile, offensively, the Reds are in the bottom 10 in batting average, and they're striking out nearly 11 times a game. They're taking on a Cleveland squad on the other side of things who ranks in the top 10 in opponents' batting average, and they also allow fewer home runs per 9 than any other team in the majors right now. Shane Bieber comes into today's game with a .193 ERA and a .64 WHIP through 1 start this year. And when it comes to offensive production, the Guardians currently lead the majors in scoring and batting average. Steven Kwan's 9 for 13 with 6 runs and 5 walks. Meanwhile, Ahmed Rosario is 8 for 18 with 4 RBI and 10 total bases. Now, total-wise, Cleveland saw their last 2 games get over the posted number. They actually scored 27 total runs during that span. Meanwhile, Cincinnati went 3-1 to the over in their last 4 themselves. And of course, they got that short porch at the Great American Ballpark as well. Should be a fun game here. I'm going to lean toward Cleveland minus $1.10 and the over 8 runs. Next matchup, it is going to be Mariners versus the White Sox, 4:10 p.m. East. Chicago is minus 120, totals 9 runs. Vince Velasquez for Chicago, Matt Brash for Seattle. Now, Brash makes his Major League debut here this afternoon. Going to be a tough one because Chicago is scoring nearly 7 runs a game on the other side of things, and they currently lead the league in fewest strikeouts at the plate. Now, Luis Roberts, 5 for 13 with a double and 3 runs scored. Meanwhile, Andrew Vaughn, he has a 1.455 OPS, along with a couple of homers and 6 RBI. When it comes to defensive play in this one, this Red Sox pitching staff averages double-digit strikeouts per 9, and they're also allowing only 2.7 runs a game. Now, Vinny Velasquez struck out 101 batters last season in just 94 and a third innings of work. When it comes to the total, only one out of Chicago's last 3 games got over the posted total of 9 runs. Meanwhile, Seattle saw 3 out of their last 4 fall under the line themselves. I'm going to lean toward the Chicago White Sox minus $1.20 and the under 9 runs. Of that, guys, we're going to jump into our next and final matchup for Part 1. And it is going to be Cubs versus the Pirates, 4:12 p.m. East. Chicago's minus $1.20, totals 8.5. Drew Smiley for Chicago, Jose Quintana for Pittsburgh. Now, Quintana had a terrible spring training. 11 earned runs and 4 home runs he allowed in just 9 innings of work in spring training. He's also coming off the worst season of his career, as he posted a 6.43 ERA along with a 1.73 whip. Now, this Pirates pitching staff allows more runs per contest than any other team in the majors. They're also in the bottom 3 in strikeouts. They're taking on a Chicago team who's averaging 6 runs a game themselves, and they're led by Ian Happ, who's 5 for 7 with 4 RBI and 3 runs scored. Meanwhile, speaking of RBI, Suzuki's got himself 6 runs batted in himself, along with a home run. Now, pitching-wise, Drew Smiley got himself a World Series title last season and went 11-4 with the Braves. Now, this Cubs pitching staff is in the top 10 in opponents' batting average. When it comes to the number, both teams are 3-0 to the over thus far in the season. They also saw 7 out of their last 10 head-to-head meetings with each other get over the line. So if you're into historical trends, you certainly want to think about that one there. I'm going to go ahead and lean toward the Chicago Cubs minus $1.20 and the over 8.5. And with that, guys, we're going to jump into our quick pick recap, powered to you by my website at brockpage.com, where we are 2-0 in our last 2 board member tier package bets. I like Boston minus $1.25, under 9 runs. Cleveland minus $1.10, over 8. Give me the Chicago White Sox minus $1.20, under 9 runs. And before I give you my next and final free pick for the video, one final reminder that we're also 6-3 in our last 9 extra daily bets on brockpage.com. And if you want to access today's extra daily bet, it's only going to cost you just $2.99. I'm going to lean toward the Chicago Cubs minus $1.20 and the over 8.5 runs. With that, guys, that's going to do it for me. Don't forget to check me out on brockpage.com. Now, if you guys do end up getting a membership here today on my website, just keep in mind, you're going to get billed the day you sign up and then the first of every month following that. So if you do end up getting a membership here today on brockpage.com, you're going to get access to that content every single day all the way through the end of April. I always tell folks in every single video, the earlier in the month you sign up, the better. And guys, if you want to get access to every single bet that I give out on that website, you're going to want to sign up for my board member package. Not only do board members get access to the board member tier bet itself, they actually get access to every single package that I offer on that website every single day, all the way through the end of April. Now, guys, you may be wondering what the difference is between what I do here on YouTube and what I do on my website. Well, what I do here on YouTube is I'll handicap the entire slate of games in any given sport, side and total. What I do on brockpage.com is I actually share with you which one of these free YouTube picks on my channel that I'm actually betting on personally. And with that, guys, that's going to do it for me. Most importantly, I got to thank you for joining me right here on YouTube. Really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. And with that said, guys, happy Tuesday to you. Best of luck to you. And I look forward to seeing you in a couple of hours in our part 2 video here on YouTube. I also look forward to seeing you later on today on my website at brockpage.com.